This is the podcast called The No Comfort Zone, Live on Purpose. If you or someone you know has had a story about adversity and became successful, please email me at dan@thenocomfortzone.com. I am looking for stories of people who had adversity, dealt with it, worked through it, and found success. Your story may help millions. I'll see you on the inside.
Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Hey, welcome back to another fabulous edition of the No Comfort Zone podcast. Today's podcast is all about pain. Not in the way that you think. Recently, I'm actually reading a book. My wife is making me read a book. I have to read a chapter or a day at a time. And it's by Pastor Rick Warren. The book is called, what's the book called? It's called Purpose Driven Life. And funny how I have a podcast about finding your purpose and getting out of your comfort zone and living on purpose. And she hands me a book and she says, I'd like you to read this. But today was profound. Today was awesome. Day 3 in the book. In case you haven't picked it up, Pastor Rick Warren, great Saddleback Church, I think is what he's part of. My wife and I started listening to him a while ago, and the guy just resonates, like what he's about, like what he talks about, and I think I like who he is as a person. And his book, which has sold millions, I think 5 million copies, The Purpose Driven Life, my wife picked it up, started reading it, and said I should read it too. So I started reading it. Day 3. It's all about finding your purpose. The crazy part is that your purpose, from my point of view, is about serving other people. It's about, like in the Marines, working on a cause greater than yourself. Getting out of your comfort zone and living on purpose. What does that mean? Most people get stuck in their feelings and emotions, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. And if you're a Sally, meaning if you can't handle when somebody tells you what time it is, or if being direct is not your thing, don't listen to this show. I don't want to turn you off. But I'm going to deal with some real shit on this podcast today. And my hope is that you actually listen to it and you work yourself through it. You take a long, hard look in the mirror and you realize where you're screwed up in your life. You realize where you want to go, and you might have to change some things. You might have to do more. You might have to do less. You might have to stop doing and saying certain things, hanging around certain people. And quite frankly, I'm here to tell you this, that I've gone through this myself. I've had to take the long, hard look in the mirror and realize, man, just because the guy that I'm looking in the mirror appears to everybody else to be successful, I'm dying inside. And then I realized, you know what? I want more. I want to be fulfilled. I want to be in a position in my life where I feel great about who I am. I want to look at that person in the mirror and say, I'm not there yet, but I'm getting close, buddy. And that can happen for you. I'm experiencing that more and more so each day. So let's get into it about the purpose-driven life, pain, and why I came with that title for today's podcast. So here we are. We find ourselves, we're after COVID. We're in a place right now where things are starting to go back to normal. And some of us, quite frankly, after the past 2 years, are in a position where we've gotten a little weak mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Some of us, not all of us, but some of us. And if you listen to this podcast, you know I've said it before and I'll say it again. Either you're getting ready for some major adversity, and I said it before the pandemic. You're in the middle of adversity. I said it during the pandemic. Or you're just coming out of it. And guess what? We're just coming out of it. But some of us haven't changed during that 2-year time period. I know what my intentions were when all this started. One of them was surviving. Who knew what was going to happen back then? I said during this time period, because I thought I was going to be off work, I'm going to complete a lot of things that I've been putting on the shelf that I stopped paying attention to. I'm going to work on my health and fitness hard. Did I do it? No. I did it in spurts, but I didn't do it consistently. And I know a lot of guys that actually took that time seriously. And man, they're super fit right now. They're living their best fitness life. because they took the time to pay attention. And while the adversity was happening, they took an opportunity to do something about it when it came to their fitness. Now, listen, what I want to share with you in the big picture of this is that purpose sometimes has to deal with a little bit of pain. And what I mean by that is that you have to have an opportunity for some sort of a stressor to come up, something to happen within your life that's going to cause you to want to change. And by wanting to change after that stressor, you very well may find your purpose. There's people right now that I know that are very close to me right now that are completely lost and emotionally are just going through the routine day after day after day. And they have no passion. They have no purpose. They're not having fun. They're just existing, merely going day by day by day. And what I'm sharing on this podcast is a way to get out of that. And that's getting out of your comfort zone. Because whether you're addicted to chaos, you're addicted to calm, you're addicted to your normal routine and you don't want to change, because that's what your mind is designed for, is not to change, to protect the body. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're going to have to introduce some pain. You see, I actually went through my adversity, personal adversity, that I brought upon myself. I was the person who was looking at the person in the mirror, lying to myself. And then I woke up one day and I'm like, you know what? It's time to sober up. It's time to straighten out. It's time to become better in multiple different areas in my life. And I understood why people in my life left me. I understood why I had the friends that I had back then. I was a shallow person. I was about as shallow as a puddle. Or I think the term is as deep as a puddle. Because all I cared about was myself. And if you were to tell me back then that I'm a selfish person, I would call you bullshit. I would say there's no way. I'm a nice guy. I'm a giving person. I'm this and I'm that. And I was so full of shit. And that's what I am here to tell you. That, believe it or not, if you're going through a lot of pain in your life and you're suffering and you feel like you don't have a lot of purpose going on, I'm going to tell you that you're full of shit. Because you're focusing on yourself. You're focusing on all of your feelings and all of your emotions and why you're not getting this and why this is happening. I know, because I sometimes go through this daily. But I figured a way to get myself out of it, and that's the no comfort zone. When I realize what's going on in my life, when I realize that there's a certain level of discomfort, I know things are okay. I know I'm going the right way. When it's easy to play the role of a victim, and we all do at times, when it's easy to play that role, you can cower up, go into the fetal position, and just wait for it to pass over. That's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. So when you are around enough people and you're behaving in a certain way, and they stop listening to you, and they stop wanting to be around you, I want to let you know something, that you're going in the right direction. Loneliness is a good motivator. I was lonely for a very long time. I was with a lot of different people. I had a lot of different people in my life, but I was still yet one of the loneliest people you'd ever meet. And what happened, it came to my choices of friends. It came to the decisions I was making with those friends or those people I was with, those relationships. And what I found out was when people distance themselves from me, what I found out is when I realized that I'm okay to be on my own, I didn't get there until I went through enough pain. And I find it funny when people tell me that, I should have an understanding of another person's emotions or feelings, and I should respect that. I've lost friends because I said, nobody gives a shit about your feelings. Nobody gives a shit about your feelings. Your feelings are a great motivator. They're a great guide for you, but nobody else really cares. It's like when you when you start talking about a dream, nobody cares. Oh, great. You had a dream. You had something that really didn't happen. That was in your mind. It doesn't affect anything around. Yeah, great. Okay, thanks for wasting my time telling me your stupid dream. And if you know me personally, I've told you about my stupid dreams, and I know I'm wasting your time. But I'm just putting that out there for the fans and for everybody else. There's a lot of stupid shit that people talk about, and that's just one of them. But it's okay to pass the time. Idle chit-chat at my age, at 52 years old, I'm just not a fan. You might think this podcast might be conversational, but there's messages, Easter eggs, gems laid out throughout it that I want you to get a grip on. And when you hit that little milestone, when you get that little golden nugget of information and you say to yourself, holy shit, that resonates with me. That's what I'm going through right now. Or now I understand why I went through what I went through. And now you can begin to grow from there. That's what this podcast is all about. It's all precision, baby. But listen, when you talk about people and their feelings and their emotions and you tell people to knock it off, nobody cares about your feelings and emotions, you piss people off. Look at the state of affairs we're in right now. As soon as you say, like, oh, you don't care about that feeling. No, I don't care about the person's feeling. I care about the person. There's a big difference. I understand you're going through pain right now. Don't come to me about pain, because I've been through a lot of pain. And I realize that pain now is my fuel, my understanding, my lessons learned, my knowledge and my wisdom, now that I'm applying to my life to make it better. And that's what I want to do for you. That's what I want you to understand. If you're sitting there crying because you're going through divorce court, bankruptcy, you don't have any friends, you're addicted to this, you're addicted to that. If you're going through that in your life right now, good. Be sad, be angry, be upset. Play the role of a victim for a minute or two, and then realize that those feelings are, in fact, an opportunity for you to grow, for you to understand where you're at, for you to identify exactly, okay, listen, I'm currently aware of my feelings. The first part of the No Comfort Zone Blueprint, I'm aware of where I currently at. I'm aware of what's going on around me. I'm aware of how I got here. I'm aware of the decisions I make and the reasons I made the decisions, the consequences and the feelings and the emotions. I have a full understanding of why I'm at where I'm at today. Now I can build on it. Now I can go to the next step. I can identify what exactly it is that I want out of my life and what path I'm going to take to go there. And then you instantly make that decision. I'm ready to do this. And then you automatically take action. Without action, all this stuff is bullshit. Make as many stakes as you possibly can to get further and further away from that comfortable person, that victim person, that feelings, the emotions, and all this other stuff that goes on, all that crap. Get rid of it. I was told that people in my life said, I'm a bad person because I don't care about feelings and emotions. And this is my favorite one. I should show love and understanding. When the house is on fire, when your life's in jeopardy, when you see somebody driving off a cliff, is it time for love and understanding? It's time to take fucking action. There's no other way about it. It's time to put discipline in place, self-discipline or inflict discipline. It's time to step up and say, you know what? I can't allow this to happen anymore. Love and understanding? Yeah, love is an obligation. Love is a commitment. Love is a feeling. Love is an emotion. But believe you me, if you care about somebody, you're going to do whatever it takes to stop that person from sitting in the burning house, from going over the cliff in that car, from making stupid mistakes. But when they make the mistakes, good. You're in the perfect place. You've made a choice. You've made a decision. You've taken action. And now you have consequences that are negative to what you were expecting or what you didn't think about. Perfect. Now you get to deal with it. Now you have to work on yourself. Now you're in the no comfort zone. Now is where you begin to grow. And that's what it all comes out to. There's a guy that was my mentor in my life, and I used to say something like, well, he's like, hey, man, I think you should stay out of a relationship for a year. Why is that? Because you don't even know who you are. Well, I don't agree with that. All right, man, I know you don't. I know you disagree with me on this, but let me run something by you. Let's follow this all the way through. You're showing up to a relationship and you don't know who you are. You can't really understand who the other person is. That person is probably going to make you feel a certain way. And now your identity again is going to be based on how that person feels about you. Yeah, but I'm still going to go into the relationship because she's hot, or I'm going to go into the relationship because she has something that I want, or I like being around her. She makes me feel good, whatever it is. And his response to me was always this after we went through the dialogue, the debate. Well, Dan, let me know how that works out for you. Man, he was always right. There was always something negative that happened afterwards that I had to pick up and learn from again. This guy wasn't a friend. He was a mentor. He told me the first time I met him, he goes, you're 37 years old. You don't even know how to live your life yet. Look at you. You're a fraud. You're walking around saying this, doing that, acting this, but at the end of the day, there's no fulfillment in your life. I says, well, how do I do this? I want what you have. What do I do? And he goes, shut up and listen. Follow my lead. Stop hanging around those idiots over there that are all false and phony and everything else. And start hanging around people. Start hanging around men that have actually an idea of who they are and where they want to go and who they want to be. Stop hanging around the shitheads. All right. So I started hanging around him quite a bit. I started to pick up some of his habits, and I started to tell people who didn't know what time it was to shut up and quit talking to me, because love and understanding could be enabling, couldn't it? I'm telling you this for a reason, because my wife made me pick up a book, The Purpose-Driven Life, and in the first part of it, it talked about being of service to other people. So when I'm in a relationship with somebody, or when I'm helping somebody out, there's a misunderstanding that initially that we're friends. Yeah, I care about you. I understand that you have problems. I want to hear your story, because within your story gives an opportunity of lessons for you to learn. And I'm going to pull those lessons out, and I'm going to show you that. Then you're going to develop your own blueprint on how you can be successful and be the ideal person for your kids, be the ideal person for your wife, be the ideal person so you're not so damn depressed all the time. Be the ideal person that knows that, you know what, when it's time to show up and you show up, people are going to turn to you because you're the solution to problems. Isn't that what we're supposed to be here for, to help each other out? Become a better you by getting out of your own way, by getting out of your comfort zone. And if you need help with that, go to Dan at the No Comfort Zone. Let me know your story. Let me know what's going on. Get on my calendar, thenocomfortzone.com. Go to the calendar, pick a time. If I'm available, I'll send you a Zoom link. We'll get to know each other over 20 minutes. I'm going to go over my blueprint. I'm going to explain it to you. I did the first part on this podcast. I'll explain to you how to go through the blueprint and how to start using some adversity that may have happened to you in the past, and use that to understand that your blueprint for success, you're already living it. You're already there. And you could take that information and bring that to the next level, and bring that so that the person that you want to be, that ideal version of yourself, you can begin to live on purpose, because you know you're here to serve other people, and now you have a goal. This blueprint helps you achieve your goals, which in the end, it's no secret. It's here to help other people. When you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want in return. It's not always money either, folks. Don't want to mislead you on that. There's so much more to life than just money, I'll tell you that. It's fulfillment. Would you believe this or not, as we wrap this podcast up, that my wife said to me, am I miserable? Me, the motivational guy, the no comfort zone? How could I be miserable? She goes, because when you talk about certain things, maybe some of it's work related, she goes, you just sound miserable. You don't sound happy. And I'm like, I'm sorry that I don't sound happy. It's not like I have sunshine, coming out my ass, that I'm just like so happy all the time. And I had to think about it for a while. Is that what I'm coming off as? Am I coming off as a disgruntled employee for where I work when managing other people? No, it comes to simply this. And this is how it goes on one of these calls when we do it privately. You have such a high potential, and I believe in you. I have a high potential, I know, and I'm not living up to it. I'm trying to. I'm getting there. I know I'm much better off than when I started 5 years ago. And I know I'm getting better and better. I know because my surroundings are changing. I'm in a recording studio right now. I can't believe it. I'm in a recording studio recording my podcast to you when I used to do it in my car. I have a beautiful home that I live in now, a home that I didn't think I was going to be able to live in, and I'm living in it now, and it happened within moments. I snapped my fingers and bam, I'm in this nice, beautiful home. I just can't believe it. I'm grateful for it. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you that my reality changed substantially because I'm trying to live up to my potential. And my standards are so high, they're uncomfortable. I truly believe this. If you have a goal, write down your goal, share it with somebody, and the other person should look at you and think you're nuts. I've been doing that my whole life. I've been achieving things at a different level my whole life, and everyone's been calling me nuts. And I know I'm not. I just want more. And I do feel great, amazing when I accomplish my goals. But more importantly, I feel great when I accomplish my goals and there's everybody around me that I want to be around me. There's other people I want to share my happiness and my joy with, and certain things that I've acquired in my life and where I'm at now. There's a lot of other people I want to share with that, but they're not on the same page. They're going through something different right now. They have to go through their own no comfort zone, and they have to grow. And some of those values aren't consistent with mine right now. But after enough pain, after enough suffering, after enough good decisions going the right way, and if you need help with that, that's what the blueprint's for, thenocomfortzone.com. If you've gone through it, that's when you send the email, dan@thenocomfortzone.com. Listen, here's a secret for you. If you know somebody that has actually had a story of pain and adversity, regret, and you look at them and you're like, I cannot believe that person turned their life around. I want to know that person. I want to meet that person. I want you to direct them to my website, dan@thenocomfortzone.com. Find me on Facebook. Do what you need to do to connect with me. I want to meet that person. I want to get you in the studio, either virtually or in person. And what I want to do is I want to have an interview with you, and I want to learn how you got through your adversity. And I bet to tell you that there's got to be some clues between the blueprint that I've created for myself and what I've identified through my lowest points in my life to gain success. And I bet you have the same thing too. And I think we need to share that with people to let them know that they actually have a chance. They have a shot to start living in fulfillment, living in accomplishment, and quite frankly, really living on purpose. And they can help other people too. Isn't that great? That's what this is all about, right? People helping people. So listen, I want you to know that I'm Dan Brzezowski. This is my podcast, The No Comfort Zone. Basically, I'm your guide through the pain. I want to let you know that I've self-inflicted so much in my life. And when I talk about purpose, when I talk about making the next right move or making the wrong move and then doing the next right thing, when you do the next right thing, the next right thing happens. I'm not saying this as a punchline, as a tag or anything. I'm saying from personal experience. I know what I've gone through can help you. I know what you're going through. You might need some help, and I'm here for you. But I also know, too, if you've gone through success or if you're fighting through it right now and you want to talk about it, this is a great platform to do it because there's a lot of support here. There's a lot of people that want to know what's going on with you, especially if you're trying to achieve success. I'd love to tell your story. Anyway, that's it for the podcast tonight. That's about 21 minutes. You're never going to get back, but I do appreciate you being here. So, again, here's the connection. Go to dan@thenocomfortzone.com. Email me what's going on. Tell me your story. Do whatever you can to get in connection with me. If you want to talk and if you want to learn more about the blueprint, that's awesome too. Go to thenocomfortzone.com. Get on my calendar. I will send you a Zoom link. Find out a little bit about where you're at. Go through the blueprint, and we'll go from there. And maybe we'll even talk about a 60-day No Comfort Zone challenge, which might be coming up soon. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. And remember this, life does not start until you get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at No Comfort Zone 1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.